feel like I have a lot of work to do before I can consider myself a woman. Most of the time, I still feel like a girl. And I was okay with that for a while, but in more recent times, it just feels incongruent. Like, of course, I know that my gender is female, but what about me and my life right now at 25 years old makes me any different from who I was at 18? What's the real distinction? Maybe having a baby propels you into womanhood or being in a long-term committed relationship? But since I'm only willing to start a family when the conditions are right, and the London dating pool that I have been privy to has piss in it, I'll have to consider other routes to womanhood for the meantime. I feel like the title of woman has to be earned, but the only issue is, how do you earn it? What criteria do you have to meet? Why do some people ooze that womanly energy and others struggle? While I don't have all of the answers, I do know that in my life currently, my beauty rituals and maintenance routines make me feel womanly. I love getting my nails done, I love waxing, and I love doing my hair and makeup and choosing an outfit. So that's what today's video is about. Things that feel like womanhood as I embark on the journey from girlhood to womanhood. A major part of what I believe womanhood to be, or at least the woman that I aspire to be, is one with an overall good aesthetic. I definitely think the saying is true that when a girl cuts her hair, she's going through a breakup. Well, that wasn't the case for me because I've never been in a serious relationship. But at the time when I did cut my hair off, I definitely felt like I was going from that teenage stage into girlhood, young adult. I was never really attached to my hair because I didn't really know how to take care of it. So it never really grew past my shoulders. And I remember I was watching an episode of America's Next Top Model and I saw this girl cut her hair off and I just thought to myself, I would look so good like that. And so literally from watching that, like maybe a month later, I had cut my hair off and then I dyed it blonde. And my blonde era was a wonderful era. I wanted to be loud with my expression. I wanted to be really in your face with my expression. So I went from blonde, I think I did a purple, I did a pink, a lilac. That was like my loudest sort of era. That's when I really wanted to be noticed and when I saw authentic self-expression as a really loud outward promotion of self. A couple years later, I decided to try ginger because it was a bit more natural, but it was still quite loud, and that's just as my views started to change. Then I went back to my natural color in between. And I actually really do like my natural hair color. Then at the start of this year, I tried brown. And I did like it at first, but I'm growing it out now because I want to go back to that refined natural color look. My hair goals at the moment is actually to grow my hair, not long, but like to a longer sort of pixie, because I have like this whole Pinterest board called Hair 2024. But when I see certain haircuts, I'm like, do you know what? I would actually look 25 if I did that. I feel like a lot of the time with the bright hair colors, you look like an 18-year-old experimenting, and I'm out of that phase. So I feel like the women with like the pixie cuts, the ones that like go in their face, and I just think it's gorgeous. Cutting my hair was definitely the best decision because it added maturity to my face. Any other hairstyle I had, like I looked like a child. Aesthetics feel complete with the small meticulous details being filled in. And I think nails are a really good example of this. When you have your nails done, it ties the look together. Different types of nails convey different things to the world. So for example, the long, ornate stripper nails, you want to be perceived in a really flamboyant, flashy sort of way. Somebody who has like, what are they called? Conceptual nail art. I'm going to associate that person with like the creative or like queer spaces. I used to get acrylics. They're really like big, bold, bright colors because I was like trying to attract attention. I moved away from the long acrylics. I needed something, number one, more practical for day-to-day life, but I didn't want it to be boring. So I moved towards biab and I've been able to grow out my natural nails. At first glance, when you see somebody who looks good, you don't know that it's the small details adding to their overall look. And I think the smallest details are what convey the implicit messages about you. It shows something about you as a person, like someone who really does care about their aesthetic and wants to look good. I think that's a real woman and I love it. And the intention behind your makeup style and application, it was like a vital part of womanhood. I've been very big on makeup, especially creative makeup. Like, I never consider myself good at like art or drawing, but I'm really good at makeup. So I'd be someone who'd be wearing all the bold looks, all the colors, and sticking things to your face and really utilizing the fact that I had no brows. And I feel like there is a time and a place for that. But right now, I'm really into the wearable sort of classic looks. I even watched this channel called Dear Peachy because you guys know, like, I love a personality test type thing. And they make you go through this whole test system They tell you the type of face you have and the type of makeup that would suit that face. And mine was classic or something, but it kind of talked about barely any skin work, focusing on the lip, having a bold lip, quite mute eyes, or having like a bolder eye, like a eyeliner, and kind of nudish lips. And I feel like intuitively, I used to do that anyway as my everyday sort of makeup look. I have quite naturally good skin, so I just play towards that and only wear a tinted moisturizer.
Oh, this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. Guys are gorgeous.
Also, one thing I stopped doing was buying cheap makeup products. I used to spend out all my money on more expensive makeup products when I literally didn't even have a job. But I was onto something. I feel like the more expensive ones are actually better. They just are. What you wear and the way you dress the majority of your time conveys who you are, whether you like it or not. In my head, I analyze like my past outfits and the intention behind it, especially when I was in uni. I keep talking about how I wanted attention, from my hair color to my makeup to the way I even acted. My clothes were a part of that too. Now, I've never been someone to take it too far. I always tried to make it a bit tasteful. I would often veer towards the skimpier side, the trashier side, the cheaper side. Like, let's just be so for real. I know people can say you can wear what you want, but you're also going to be perceived in a certain way. So decide how you want to be perceived. Now, I want to move it away from this overt kind of childish, in your face sexuality to a nice like feminine sensuality, because I feel like sexuality is still necessary to be in your outfits. Provocative, that's the word. That provocative. I don't feel the need to be provocative all the time and garner attention in that way. And I feel like looking at people's clothes, you can actually tell who they are. You can tell what they're trying to convey. Like some people are trying to be really provocative, whether they're trying to attract men or opportunities. Some people are not putting in effort because they have low self-esteem or like a poor lifestyle. Well, I want to dress in a way where you can tell that I'm intentional with my life and the things that I choose to do, so you can tell the intentionality through my outfits, even if it's as simple as a running errands outfit or a work tracksuit. Like, I want you to know, like, oh, she thought about this, she thinks about what she does in her life. So I've tried my best to add feminine and beautifying aspects to my work clothes, because I am at work the majority of my time. And I feel like changing your clothes goes hand in hand with changing your life. Your body hair and grooming standards are a statement of what you stand for as a woman and whether you care to conform in this instance or not. When it comes to body hair, I could easily lie and be like, oh, like it's fine and I don't mind, but like, yeah, I've been caught by the conditioning, the patriarchy, whatever the fuck it is. Like, I don't want to lift my arms up and there to be hair there. I don't feel comfortable doing that. This is almost like it's a lesson in deciding what actually matters to you. Like, is this the hill you're going to die on? Some people, it is the hill they're going to die on, and I get it, because there's actually some people who have so much body hair, it's like a chore to try and take it all off, so it's better for them to embrace it. Whereas I don't, and I've been caught by the conditioning or the patriarchy or whatever it is, and so I'm just going to wax every month and feel happy to put my arms up. But I think that's the beauty of womanhood in itself. Like, you get to choose what you care about, and it can differ or be different from what somebody else cares about, but that's what being a woman is. I also like the ritual of waxing. I like the idea of something taking time and potentially being a bit painful. I know that sounds crazy. You know how they say beauty is pain? Sometimes I get it. Like, sometimes your armpits have to sting, you know? I feel like it's very womanly to have those self-care rituals. And obviously you get to decide what is a self-care ritual for you. And for me, that is a self-care ritual, even if I'm doing it myself. Is it just me who feels like having restrictions in your diet is almost embarrassing to some people? Like, you're almost like looked down upon, like, oh, like, who does she think she is, taking care of her health? And it's like, guys, this is actually my body, my vessel, the one place I have to live. And so I actually take a lot of pride in having limitations and boundaries around what I can and can't eat, especially because it's of the benefits it's had for my body. If you see my other videos, like, I literally was able to bring my periods back, something that I'd really suffered with through many years of my life. Well, since I started having periods when I was like 10, I've suffered. And so to be able to find that changing my diet would regulate that, like, I can't help but have a reverence for my body. But I feel like a lot of people almost make fun of the fact that I choose not to drink alcohol, or I don't eat certain things, or I fast. Like, I think the making fun of it part comes from people being intrigued, maybe, but really deep it, people, it's embarrassing to be healthy and care about your body. Like, do you know how crazy that is, to be almost shamed for prioritizing your body and your health and stuff like that. It's weird. It won't stop me though. I will never, I don't care. I won't stop. I know a lot of people really dislike limitations, but it's what's helped me. And I realize what has actually caused a lot of problems in my life is this lawlessness and being like, oh, you can do everything. Like there's some things you can do and some things you can't. And having that boundary gives you a space to work within and actually stops you have like having decision fatigue and anxiety, thinking that every single choice is for you, not everything is for you. And when you realize not everything is for you and you can hone in on something, I feel like you get the depth of experience. I know we're just talking about food, but I feel like it applies to everything. My diet is probably the thing I pride myself on being the most womanly, like the attention to detail from arranging the bowls that I have, what I choose to eat, when I choose to eat, like the colors. To me, I was like, yeah, that makes me feel like a woman who cares about herself and her health. And I love it. And it's something that I will continue to carry forward as I go further and further into my womanhood. There really is no rule book for bridging the gap between girlhood and womanhood, so I've started on the surface with the things that feel good to me and what I perceive as giving me a taste of what being a woman feels like. So I will continue with the beauty rituals and maintenance practices while allowing them to evolve, change, and expand as I become more and more assured of myself. I'm excited to continue on this path and dive deeper into uncovering my feminine self in my 20s, and what makes it even more fulfilling is to document it and share it with you all.